Aries. Offer your services to others, Aries. Your generosity in spreading your knowledge will be rewarded. Things might be rather confusing at first, but once you start talking, you will be surprised by how much you really know and how far your incredible wit, manners, and sociable attitude can take you. Try your best to reach out to others without seeming needy or demanding. Taurus. If you feel slighted today, Taurus, don't shut yourself off from the situation. It may seem like everyone has ganged up and turned against you. The slightest action from someone else can cause turmoil in your mind unless you learn to control your emotions. Make it a goal. Gemini. You may wake up in a fog of confusion this morning for some reason, Gemini. The good news is that the air is likely to clear as the day continues. Your normal self has returned and you're ready to face the world with a dramatic show of courageous action and adventure. Cancer. Here's a suggestion. If you get a strange vibe about a situation today, walk away, Cancer. Your instincts will tell you if something is dangerous or not. You'll also enjoy yourself much more if you can relax in any old situation instead of being uptight about it. Leo. It's time to take charge of your life, Leo. Don't rely on other people to sort out your problems. You need to dig down and take responsibility for getting out of any mental or emotional jam. Don't rely on other people to do it for you. Virgo. It's time to show other people that you have backbone, Virgo. It could be that up until now, very few people have noticed since you're so flexible and adaptable to change. Prove to them that this isn't the case by setting your own agenda and sticking to it. Libra. You may be anxious to get some new projects underway today, Libra, even though they aren't necessarily ready or well thought out. You must first learn that patience is key. Jumping the gun could cause a false start that disqualifies you from the race. Avoid this fate by playing it cool and laying low. Keep your big guns under wraps for now. You don't need to bring out all the heavy artillery yet. Scorpio. There's a romantic, dreamy feeling to today that you should indulge in, Scorpio. Try to plan a candlelit dinner at home for just the two of you, but don't feel pressured to cook an elaborate meal. Pick up some Chinese and serve it on the good china. Keep the focus on the two of you. Sagittarius. You might not be in the mood to cooperate today, Sagittarius. You will most likely want to work on projects alone at your own pace. Try not to be too pouty with your partner or kids. They might not understand the real reason why you're distracted. Capricorn. Start today on the right foot by projecting a positive mood and healthy mindset, Capricorn. Attitude is everything. This is one of those days in which it matters the most. Aquarius. You may discover your emotions are tempered today as you want to turn inward, Aquarius. You're apt to surprise yourself and the people around you when you decide that all you want to do is go into your room and sit by yourself instead of joining the crowd outside. Don't feel bad about doing this, even if you're expected at the party in full regalia. Do what feels most natural for you. Pisces. Your strength lies in your inner resources, Pisces. Today you will find that these resources have opened up within you. This time of new beginnings is extremely important. It would behoove you to probe your depths and fix any internal quirks that might give you trouble in the future.
And good Thursday morning to you. Welcome to DBS This Morning. We get excited about Thursdays because normally we get to do 3 features on a Thursday. So yes, we do have 3 features for you this morning. But first, we'd like to tap into the news desk for the headlines.
Good morning. Time now for a summary of your top stories. Former Sustainable Development Minister Dr. James Fletcher is chiding governments for not doing more to exploit the economic potential in the island's biodiversity and more precisely in the area of pharmaceuticals. Even though the pharmaceutical industry is heavily reliant on the biosphere to support its value chain, he says the economic values of biological resources appear to be lost on regional governments.
Our native pharmacopoeia is based on the efficacy of the compounds found in the rich variety of medicinal plants that grow in our region. Unfortunately, and this is a subject that I've spoken about repeatedly in public fora, we have largely ignored the economic potential of these plants and instead allowed companies like Whole Foods, Holland and Barrett, and the Body Shop to make huge profits from the use of our biodiversity in their nutraceuticals and beauty products.
According to the Convention on Biological Diversity, over 80% of registered medicines either come from or have been inspired by the natural world. Education news now. The Caribbean Examination Council, or CXC, has settled upon a modified approach to grade students completing the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, or CSEC, Mathematics Paper 2, which was leaked prior to the administration of that exam earlier this month. An investigation has since determined that Jamaica was the source of that leak.
CXC and regional ministries of education recognize that candidates have spent months preparing for the Mathematics Paper 2 examinations, and the news of the security breach of the examination has caused much anxiety and concern. As a result of the breach and the compromise of the examination, as well as consideration for the mental health and well-being of candidates, timely release of results, and matriculation requirements, CXC has determined that for this examination, the modified approach will be used to award fair and valid grades. The modified approach which will be used entails 1. The use of the school-based assessment, which is the SBA, for students at the secondary school, and the Paper 3-2 for private candidates, and number 2, the Paper 1.
The decision by CXC was communicated to regional ministries of education. CXC has given candidates assurances that the security of the regional examinations is paramount and their best interests continue to be at the center of the organization's decisions and processes. CXC says they will continue to provide updates as and when necessary and would advise stakeholders to monitor the council's official communication channels for further information. One aviation veteran is calling for governments to be less involved in the business of regional aviation due to experiences and lessons learned with regional air carrier Liat.
It was never against Liat, it was the way it was being run, the way they were operating it. And I kept saying that if you keep on running that company the way they run it, they'll run it down to the ground. Who did that? The governments, they all did that, you know. I traveled to Barbados a couple of years ago, and I think I paid about 500 and something US to go just across to Barbados. When you watch out the ticket was about 200 and something dollars for Liat, but in taxes you pay almost 300 and something US. You know, I mean that's a killer.
St. Lucia's aviation minister, however, disagrees and insists that the regional government's involvement in the airline is what kept it afloat as long as it was. Several people are nursing injuries after a bus plowed into a pave home on Tuesday. According to reports, the driver may have lost control after experiencing mechanical failure. The St. Lucia Fire and Emergency Services treated several individuals at the scene.
On Tuesday, 23rd May at approximately 4:20 p.m., the fire service received a call informing of a motor vehicular incident at Pave in Castries. Information received stated that a minibus ran off the road and crashed into a house. A response was made with 1 fire appliance and 3 ambulances. The responding officers found 9 persons on the scene who were involved in the incident. 4 of the individuals sustained minor injuries which were treated by emergency care personnel. They were then provided emergency transportation to a medical facility for further care. The other 5 persons involved refused attention and subsequently signed release forms.
The department continues to implore road users to comply with the necessary safety regulations and for motor vehicle operators to ensure that their vehicles are serviced and in proper working condition. Those are your top stories. Thanks for watching. Good morning.
Thank you very much. We're now due for a break. We'll be right back after this. Now our first feature. we caught up with the ladies, well, at least two of the members from the Women on the Move walk, the long distance walking group. And the walk is on this Sunday. And we got some insight from that. Let's find out some more. They're trying to get me to walk, by the way. Well, we're here with Terry and Melissa, and we are getting set, ready to go on the Women on the Move walk, the Northern long distance group. The women leg, of course, is having their annual walk. It's back on stream. Let's not go about whether or not I have done the walk or whether I'm going to be doing the walk. We'll get to that in a minute. That's the surprise element. But I've got Terry and I've got Melissa. Ladies, how are you guys doing?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. I think we're going to kick off with Melissa first because we really want to get a sense as to, why was this walk, all women, all female walk, really walk initiated? What was the thought pattern going into it?
Okay, well, I believe that, with everything, yes, there is the annual Independence Walk, but women do so much for society, not taking away from the men, but it's important to have something for ourselves where we can celebrate each other and love on each other and really take the time to support each other. The journey of the walk in itself, we have different legs, and it's really about putting one foot forward literally and seeing how far you can go and just being around a lot of a lot of love, a lot of supporting energy, and I think that's really important, especially in today's society.
So it's more than just a significant walk. It is what a walk entails, that support, that it's a challenge, one, but it also encouragement. It is support. It is, like you said, put in one foot, which is what really we go through as women on a daily basis as well. Terry, what's your take on it?
Okay, so the Women on the Move walk, it's a women empowerment group. So we are empowering women to come out, challenge themselves, because oftentimes we hear women saying that they can't do it. And that word can't seem to be so up there that, they just don't focus on anything else. So sometimes they just need a little push, a little nudge, a little motivation, just like I'm motivating Maureen for Sunday, something like that. So we consider ourselves to be a family. So you come out, you're not alone. You'll meet a lady friend, you make a buddy for life. That's how we do it together, because in 2019, when we came about, there were so many women there. I mean, you cannot help but meet a buddy, tag with somebody, and for all you know, that would be your next walking partner for another event. So quick like that, something happens.
Right.
Yes.
Wonderful. It could have been anything else, but it was a walk, because there's so many other ways in which to empower women. Was it in relation to health? Was the health of us women considered when you deciding what sort of activity you would use as your base?
Definitely, because we need to strike a balance. Most persons work from Monday to Friday. You leave work, you go home. Some of us don't do anything. So a walk like that definitely would allow you to come out. It's all about a healthy lifestyle, healthy living, and most definitely, after Sunday's event, I think a lot of persons who come out would definitely want to come again, for sure.
Let's spend a little time now on the actual walk. There's a real component to it. So it's a 6 leg, each leg probably about 8 mile, just about 7.5, about 7.5 miles. Right. So it's really, but it doesn't mean that that's all. If you want to challenge yourself to do the entire thing. Have we had women who've completed the entire thing before?
I have.
You have?
Yes.
And you want to pull me behind your use a pro?
No, Maureen. No. We just want you at least to say, Maureen, after this walk, you can get your bragging rights. So people are so, fellas like I walk, I tell you, you only talk. So you have bragging rights to say, I did it. When I walk up in the studio and give
Actually, one of my listeners did say to me that I'm all back and no bite.
You see, there you are. So after completing the walk, you can say, okay, I did it, guys. So next year, I'm definitely going to be on, maybe to push myself to Bexar.
Wow.
Right.
Wonderful. And how many women have completed the entire thing to date since you've
from
undertaken this walk?
2019, I think about 6 of us. because it's very challenging. I don't want to sound like, but it is challenging. It's a mind thing.
How long did it take you to complete it though?
It took me we started off a bit late. I got to Sandy Beach 6:45 p.m. We started from Johnson's 6 a.m.
So the day, it's you just a day
Yes.
to walk from Johnson Center to Sandy
Yes,
Bay.
yes.
I probably will do it, but it'll take me about 3 days, Probably take me about 3 days, but I will do it. I could do it. What about you, Mel? What have you accomplished?
Well, this is my first
This is your
time being
first time?
part of that team,
Nice.
yes.
Okay.
And unfortunately, due to medical reasons, I cannot challenge myself by attempting, but I will be there assisting as much as I can. And I'm hoping that next year I can, try to see how far I can go, because I'm really an active person. I'm a dancer, and this is something I would enjoy. I've done walks before, and I love walking on my own. And it's nice to find a community, because in this day and age, you cannot just go and walk just anywhere on your own. So an activity like this is a nice opportunity to get your feet wet. And I also want to shed light on a little bit of what Terry said about, busy lives and movement. All it takes is a few minutes a day to just move the body. And if you don't know where to start, I believe this can be something that you can start with. I know the Grosley to Viewford might sound intimidating why I start with something so grand, but it's more so it's divided. So you can try to do as much as you can, and you're not obligated to complete it, but as much as you can, anything that you do is at least something, and you can say, at least I did that.
Right.
Yes.
What is the plans and the hopes and the dreams of this club?
Okay, so we plan for Women on the Move to get bigger. We want the movement to grow. We want to see expansion in time to come. So hopefully, as I said, because of the pandemic, after 2019, there was a lull. We could not have done anything. So this is why this time around, which is the second time, we really want to give that walk a push. Today is Wednesday. We have up until Saturday for registration. So we're appealing to all women. Sometimes you get people telling you, oh, you're going on walk, why are you walking? You get a lot of negativity, a lot of resistance. I get it too, but I don't mind, because I know what I want, and this is what I'm into. That is my thing. So I go ahead and do what I must. And if you can't really force anybody to walk. That's the hardest thing. Saturday we were down at Constitution Park, and I kind of got a little down, because so many women passing, and you're trying to encourage them, and the responses were, it wasn't good. So I felt a how. I felt a how, honestly. But I'm hoping that, our culture sometimes seems to be like a last-minute culture. So I'm hoping this time around, maybe that is the case. So they're waiting for last minute to come in and register so that the numbers would actually grow. So I'm just hoping for that. And also, I would like to state that Women on the Move is not all about walking. We give back. We have done poverty drives, where, especially during the pandemic, we went out there and we gave care packages. We also do a back to school where we give back needy children and stuff like that. So we're not all about walking. We give back to the community as well. A non-profit organization. Wonderful. Yes.
So again, briefly, the walk is on the 28th. Just run down briefly what the walk is, when it's going to start, and the legs.
Yes. Okay, so it starts at 5 a.m. We would like to start as early as possible. So please, it's real time 5 a.m., not Lucian time. We'll begin with, a nice warm-up and prayer. And then we take on the challenge. So it's a 6-leg relay walk. So the first leg is from the Johnson Center to Foasho. And from there is to the Bexar Roman Catholic Church. After, it's to Dennery at the Olio Junction. And from there, it's to the Prale Bridge. From the Prale Bridge is to the Deriso Junction. And then from there is where we end to Sandy Beach View Forts.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Right, wonderful. So we're looking forward to that walk. And of course, you do have your social media handles that persons could follow everything the Women on the Move.
Instagram and recently created Facebook page. So it's the same title, same handle, Women on the Move. So persons can follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. There are contact numbers available. If you're in doubt, you can call. There are at least 4 contact numbers available that you can reach out to any of the team members or committee members. And we would like to see on the actual day we've had registration, but we're trying not to because it's kind of going to take back on our time. So we're hoping that persons would opt to do it at least on Saturday and not wait for the actual morning to come in and register. Wonderful. Yeah.
Well, as to whether or not I'm going to be on the walk, you're going to have to wait and see. But definitely all the best again at your second walk and your second attempt at this walk.
Thank you so much, Maureen. Yes, nice having you.
And I do promise you, we do not ever plan this out, but here we are again. Our second feature is very well related because we are looking at a free class that 2 of our Lucian girls who is into fitness is now putting on a challenge, Dancehall VS Soca. We caught up with Bashana. Movement, fitness, it is all part of what we have to strive a lot to become. Fitness is wealth, or health is wealth, or wealth is health. They got a thing they say, don't it? Mm-hmm. Wonderful. We caught up with Bashana. Bashana here is no stranger to the arts of St. Lucia. Yourself and your sister has been very much involved in dance. Recently, you guys have just got back from Jamaica, where you did your complete whatever. You guys went out and actually studied the thing to bring it back on home. So that's how serious you are about the craft and your dance and your fitness and all of that. You've got something that is coming up, and it caught our interest. It picked our interest, and we wanted to find out a little bit more about what's happening. Hi, Bashana.
Hi, Maureen, and thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes.
Very, very grateful. And yes, indeed, lovers of the arts, we've been so grateful to have dance be our avenue, the theatre, coming up in secondary school for cheerleading and joining the community dance groups like Shamalayan, Laserfa, and just always keeping that alive. So, yeah, dance fitness is a very big part of what we do now, in addition to performance. Right. But when it comes to dance fitness, we know everybody is into the TikTok videos, everybody's moving them days, and all of these things. So our contribution again is Dancehall VS Soca this Friday.
Right. Now, I want to talk a little bit about, because you, like you said, you come up through the ropes of this whole dance and fitness and the cultural part of it here with the laser furs and all like that. What is your take on where we are right now in terms of the underground fraternity, in terms of, are we still as respected? Are we still as relevant? Or we now have to start like you're doing, think of different and new ways in which to coincide the era and the changing times. Where are we right now, do you think?
That's an excellent question. I think some of the, the stalwarts in the industry, they're still there. They may have diversified, maybe moved from dance and gone into theatre or gone into design or fashion or things of that sort. You have some of the names like Silver Shadow that has been like a staple from time. And I would say that I would say we're very hopeful. I think it's still looking like a very promising future. However, I think we have suffered a blow when it comes to consistency, when it comes to dedicated students. Back in the day, you'd be so happy to pack your school bag with your rehearsal clothes and, hey, let me hurry up and get to dance class. But I don't know if it's the new culture, the advent of the devices and stuff like that. Maybe kids are not as interested. So I think it gives us, the ones who are a little older, not so old, but a little older, to just try to create, more fun invitations to kids who are in school and stuff like that. So I want to just big up all of the people like Barry George, like my mind is leaving me right now with who's still active, that is, but people like Trevor, people like Jermaine Alexander, we have Christine Samuels, and the Rosies of Rosemary Etienne from Shamaline, that was our group. They're still making their contributions. However, we still need to continue. I think a lot of people still take dance as a hobby, whereas we're seeing people in the Caribbean, in the region, internationally, turn it into a profession. Exactly. So I would like to say that it's still promising, but we still need people to be as dedicated and consistent, because the consistency, the dedication, these things really are helping you to diversify and become, business owners, and, to change dance from being a hobby and a thing you just do when you're bored, into the business of it. So people can see the next side.
Quite a bold move on your part, you and your sister, to go on out and make sure you studied it to become, because like you said, most people treat it on your island as it's a hobby and, it's a side something. But going out strategically, what was your thought pattern, you and your sister, when you decided to go on out over to Jamaica and studied this professionally?
Well, yes. I think, I'm not sure if you would call it late or early or what, because it's never too late, right? But in 2015, we applied to Edna Manley. We got accepted by the school to, go for our bachelor's studying degree. And I would say in hindsight, it was a good thing that the banks did not give us the funding, right? But in the moment, we were devastated. But just being the persevering souls that we are, we're like, there must be another way, right? So that's what we did. We fundraised and we went to, to get backing from investors and everything. And we still got on the ground in Jamaica. Thankfully, we have roots there. Our dad is Jamaican. So we were able to go to the same thing, community dance groups, community dance centers, and work our way up in that way. So we ended up working in the industry. So we worked in the hotel industry for a solid 4 years of us being over there. And that put us on stage with people with bachelor's degrees. Put us right next to the people who have studied. And we still attended Edna Manley, but for continuing ed studies. So that was an after work thing. So we'd work, take break, go down to Kingston, which is 4-hour drive in one direction, go to the dance class, and then hurry back to go be at work at the next day. So our thought process was, keep trying. There are other ways to skin a cat. We can still get where we're going, and it doesn't always have to be the traditional route. There are other ways to get there. And we were grateful and, were received by people as family. And they just made the whole process really great one, a great learning experience.
Coming back with what you come back with, we're going to talk about the event in a bit, but coming back with what you come back with, you and your sister, you're now qualified in that department. How do you see yourself enhancing what's on the ground, what you left?
All right, excellent. So myself and my sister Shadria Days, we have our company is registered in 2015, but it's called Moves for Days and play on our last name, Dayes. So we've come back and we've actively made our company the same thing that dance groups owe to us. So we're doing the youth development. We're doing the training of young ladies right now to make them become more creatively set when it comes on the mindset level and on the body training. So we're just imparting all of the knowledge that we have right now to younger ones, 19, 18, 21-year-olds, and also still keeping the dance fitness running. So our part is, we live and operate from Mabuya Valley in the east. So we're hoping to strengthen that side of the island, because a lot of these dance activities usually happen in the north, in Castries or in the north. So us being located in the valley, we figure, let's start there. Let that be the nucleus for something there. Let's start something there and then extend now to the south of the island. So maybe, we can feel a little bit more hopeful when it comes to the southern parts of the island that, hey, there's something to do. Perform at a high level and dance fitness at a high level as well.
Dance fitness. You've got a free one coming up, Dancehall VS Soca. Yeah. When is it and how can we get involved?
All right, so Dancehall VS Soca is our second dance fitness class for the year that we're offering. And I'm just saying, it's open to everybody, young, old, male, female, everybody, right? And bring a friend. So it's happening this Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. at Vel's Fitness Center in Wadawaj. And this will be a great opportunity to dance to some of your best tunes that you've heard from Dancehall and Soca. You're going to get the dance knowledge and you're also going to get the fitness element, the workout, the body pump, the everything, all in one.
Okay, well, there you go, guys. You have it. What time again?
It's from 6 to 7.
6 p.m. or 6 in the morning?
That's true. 6 to 7 p.m. So right after work, I know they have a lot of traffic going up on the road, so leave work on time. Right. And Velda's in Boadawaj. Yeah.
This is great stuff. We want to wish you the best, and we're happy that at least somebody's taking on the mantle to carry things on. Continuity it is called. And you're giving back as well. We like that. third feature is pulling on my heartstrings a little bit here. We caught up with Liam's mom, and we entered into Liam's world, basically. I would like to take you along. Come on, take a look. This morning we are heading into Liam's world. We caught up with Liam's mom. Liam's world is amazing, it's exciting, and it's such inspiration happening there. We could not resist but tap into Liam's world. We're here with Mom. Mom, what's going on?
Hi, Maureen.
How you doing,
Hi,
darling?
St. Lucia. Yes, okay, so like I was explaining to Maureen, Liam's world came about with the inception of the initial design, which is I am St. Lucian. So it has a double meaning, yes.
Let's slow down with it,
Yes.
because Liam's world is a business, a current
Yes.
business. Your son is the proprietor and the owner of the business. He is a differently abled child.
Yes.
And he's into t-shirt designs that represents
He's into a lot of
things. So we want to get a breakdown as to,
Yes.
because I know we talk about the pop-up shop he's having
Okay.
recently as well. So Liam has got a lot of things going
Yes.
on. One such is the t-shirts, which he
That's
normally
correct,
does.
yes.
And he did some for the offering of jazz as well.
Yes.
So so the putting of the original designs for his
Original
t-shirts
design
now.
was roughly 2 years ago, and again Liam is 12, so roughly 2 years ago he was 10, and we started off with his initial design, which is the outline of St. Lucia, and in the what you have printed in the inside of the outline is the name Liam. So the L is sort of hidden, so it has a double meaning. And then for persons buying the t-shirt, it's branded as I am St. Lucian, but his brand is in there at one time, so it's a double meaning.
What
So,
prompted this initiative? Liam seems to be quite a number. Like you said, he's your boss.
Yes.
So he's been that kind of child, very.
actually, I will try to get you that original footage when Liam was possibly 3 years old. Liam used to go outside of our house. I'm so happy you asked me that question. He used to go outside our home every Sunday morning, take all his toys. He would set up his shop. Sometimes we have to come and get an umbrella to put, because it was so hot.
Right.
Get him an umbrella to give him some shelter. He'd have his little bench. He would sit there and come shop with Liam's, at that point.
Well, hello. What are you doing? You're selling your stuff. What are you selling? Oh, really? Only $10. Bargain.
That point.
So he's always had that entrepreneurship
that
within
was
him.
sparked from very, very young. And, I guess during that time, I think it was through COVID.
Right.
I guess, you have a lot of downtime, so you tend to try to find things to get to do and to keep the children engaged as well. Obviously, being out of school for such a long period. And I think the two of us we were doing something, and then we came up, sometimes you forget the actual, but then we were kind of drawing out stuff.
Right.
And then we came up with this design, which I forwarded to my cousin Vision Media, and he was able to put it all together. And you have the birthing of Liam's world. But I also want to shout out his YouTube channel, because that's his dream as well. He wants to be an avid YouTuber. So he has a couple of videos on there of St. Lucia, of his tours throughout St. Lucia, his toys. Now he's looking more into fitness, so he also has a couple of videos on fitness. So be sure to exercise with Liam. So at the end of the day, it's like you said, it's entering his world, and we're giving St. Lucians and the world an opportunity to just share, like, subscribe, and follow Liam's world.
Well, it's Liam's world, but he seems to have that innate passion, that's, how do you call it, the patriotism, because all of his stuff really does surround St. Lucia. So speak to his passion for his land. Was it something you handed down to him?
Well, I think what happened is that we like to do little adventures, go hiking and stuff, and obviously, he's not fully physically capable, I should say. So then when we go, his brother and his dad would carry him, because sometimes we actually did Ted Paul, and his brother had to carry him up, carry him down. So I think it's just the excitement of doing something new, doing something different. And he enjoys the outdoors, although now he's complaining about the heat, because it's a heat wave now, but he really, really enjoys just doing stuff in nature.
Wonderful.
Yes.
What is it like being the mom of a child that is differently abled? I personally, being a mom, sometimes we sit on the outskirt and we don't understand. Is it any different?
Totally different. But I think with life, you tend to have to navigate through challenges no matter how they are presented to you. And I think having a child with a special need, it allows you to sort of think outside the box even more, because you now have to advocate for this person who is not able to do certain things for themselves. So you as an individual, as a parent, you have to become a lot stronger, a lot more vocal, and a lot more interested in ensuring that you find the environment that your son or daughter can thrive in. And in turn, that in itself helps you develop as an individual.
Wow.
So
That's amazing. Not to mention the kind of love you're getting from
Yes,
that section right
absolutely.
there. Now let's talk about the pop-up shop. You have a pop-up shop. Liam's World's pop-up shop is coming
Liam's
up.
World.
Is it Saturday?
It's this Saturday.
Right. Where
So
can we
it's
find it?
going to be at JQ Mall, just in front of the supermarket. And that's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So it's a buy one, get one half off. It's a BOGO sale this Saturday, so be sure to come support. Liam is always like, Mommy, we need to give a discount. Mommy, we need to do this. So this is coming from Liam, so I do hope you can come out to support him this Saturday.
Wonderful. Well, we are so happy that you allowed us into Liam's World this morning, and we look forward to more from Liam because he seems quite an avid one.
He is. And thank you so much, and thank you, St. Lucia.
Wonderful.
Thank you,
What
Maureen.
would you like to say now as a mom of a special? You said advocate. You
Yes.
used that word.
Yes.
So advocating right now in terms of general public, how it is that we accept
Yes,
or we receive,
embrace and receive,
What would
yes.
you say to us?
Okay, so I think the misconception is that when you have a special need that you don't learn or you don't, that you cannot be integrated into society. And I think that is the biggest misconception. I think we need to understand that these children are valuable, they have contributions to make, and we need to create the correct environments for them to thrive. So it needs to start with school, it needs to start with social interaction, and just ensuring that they get the full possibility of what's a basic human need. Education is a basic right for each child. So if we can ensure that our foundations are set up to enter their world, then they can thrive and they can become contributing members of society.
Well said. I wouldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much for talking with us
Thank
this
you.
morning again. And that's our show for today. Hope you'll join us again tomorrow right here. Friday is going to be the weekend we're stepping into. Have an enjoyable Thursday. That's it for DBS This Morning.